Well, hey there, it's me, Big Ugly Jim. Yeah, so welcome back, me. Welcome back, all of you. It's good to be here. If no one has anything specific that they want to chat about, I'm going to ramble about something stupid, something that I know nothing about. But I keep seeing debates where, and it often is in debates because I don't watch a lot of right wing content unless it's part of a debate with left wing people making them look stupid. But it's about transitioning. They're putting all these laws forward that are intended specifically to get in the way of people transitioning. I'm just going to talk a little bit. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know shit about shit. People aren't transitioning like, some kid wakes up one morning and goes, you know what? I'd like to become a whole different gender. I think I'll try that out and see how it goes. Like there's a whole fucking process here. And the attitude that I see is, and especially, right wing guys will be like right up in the camera going like, are you telling me that you're okay with the idea of a 2-year-old child going through surgery? That's not what happens. That's not even remotely what happens. I'm a cisgender dude, so I don't fucking understand anything, but I can respect people for the struggles they're going through. If I, as a parent, or presumably if my child was acting on their own, but probably with me as a parent, my child is expressing that there's a very, like, they really want to transition. That's not enough. It's not like we just hop over to the local transition-o-matic and, okay, we're there. What actually happens is you go through a long process to understand what that looks like, understand, psychology or psychiatrists and psychologists or whoever are involved to get a sense of the causal nature of this, like and they assess whether they believe that this is something that the person will live to regret, or like if it was a sort of a whim thing, which seems really weird. But yeah, so the thing that they do is it's not like they take a child and start cutting away. This is just not a thing. What they do is they use puberty blockers, which are designed to prevent the body from going through puberty. That's why they're called that. And I don't understand it's not hormone replacement therapy, as I understand it. It's a different thing that basically just stops puberty from happening. The amazing thing about this is it is the most non-intervention-y intervention you can have, because when the person stops taking them, like, let's just say that you had a scenario where somebody was on these puberty blockers and they went, oh no, you know what? I'm good with my assigned gender. I'm actually happy as a man or woman or whatever, and they stop taking them. Shit starts. Their body goes through puberty. No harm, no fucking foul. That's what these laws are preventing, and they're doing it specifically because the people who make these laws are assholes who don't understand things and want to continue to push this narrative that kids are too stupid to know their own bodies, that being trans is a sickness, and that this is a form of child abuse. And they, a lot of the time you hear it's the parents in the right wing commentators' mouths. It's the parents who are making their children make this step. Again, there's a whole process that will rule that out. And if there ever was a scenario, which I fucking doubt, where parents were like, we think you should identify as a different sex, so we're going to get you into a doctor to make that happen. The whole medical community would be like, y'all need to fuck right off. This person is fine as they are. Go away. It's completely stupid. It's a difficult scenario for me because I have always been comfortable as the gender that I was assigned at birth, and so it's not an easy thing for me to be like, oh, other people have a different experience, but other people do have a different experience, and I have to be able to accept that my worldview is not everybody's worldview, which should be fucking obvious, right? Otherwise, we'd all be walking around with stupid haircuts. Trans people right now are an easy group to bully. And if there's one thing Republicans and right-wing leaning people do really enjoy the piss out of, it is beating up on people who can't fight back. Trans people have always been sort of like, you know, if you were to draw a real socio-sexual hierarchy, not that Vox Day bullshit we went through earlier where I'm clearly a Sigma because I'm so goddamn wonderful. If you were to draw like a real hierarchy of, you know, you'd have straights at the top, then you'd have gay men and lesbian women. I'm not sure exactly which order you'd put on. Then you'd have bisexual people, and then you'd have like other, which maybe is like furries and things like that. And at the very, very bottom is trans people who society just feels like we can murder them, and that's a, you know, that's a reasonable decision. That's not okay. It's 100% not okay. None of the hierarchy concept is okay, because as a Sigma, I hate hierarchies. But we're in a place now where people are actively pushing back against that and saying like it's fucking not all right for people to shit treat other people. That's why we're seeing, it's not that like there's suddenly more trans people or that kids are just suddenly all whimsical about maybe I'll be a boy or a girl or it's none of that. Literally, the amount of terrible stigma is lessening, and this is a good thing. It needs to lessen even more so that people can just fucking be their own selves. Period. When half of all trans people die unnatural deaths, something has to change. Oh, that was the worst. Not your comment. I was watching one debate on the subject, and this dude was so it was this guy Dylan Burns, who does a bunch of like the hippy dippy championships and stuff, is a debate guy, and he had the one dude on the debate was Dylan brought up, he's like, you know, black trans women are literally like the most murdered group in the US. I don't know if that, you know, that exact number is correct, but it's certainly like, it's not a good time to be a black trans woman as opposed to all those other times when it's been wonderful. A perfect blend of where racism and misogyny and transphobia can all just mesh into one and allow people to be murderous assholes. The dude on the panel looks at him and goes, yeah, but what racial group did the killing? And I commented in the chat, I was like, oh my God, what about all the black trans on black trans crime? What a fucking take that was. Like, holy shit. How do you even... And then he tried to make it a cultural thing about like, well, black men just really hate being fooled by black men in drag. And it was like, dude, you are a fucking toad and a monster, and you deserve to not breathe. Anyone who sees those numbers that black trans people are dying in high numbers of like actual murders, not dying of like, wow, it's weird, there's a correlation between tuberculosis and being black and trans. It's not that. We're talking murder. And if you see those numbers and you're like, yeah, but, oh, shut up. I thought all lives mattered, motherfucker. Oh, right. That's not real. And then another sort of related thing that's a few people have been talking about lately is neopronouns. Now, again, not a fucking expert, but I do think it's an interesting topic, and I'm hoping that, you know, anyone in my chat wants to chime in. To me, I'm old. I'm 47 years old. I'm not actually getting any younger, despite what you may think by my youthful appearance and my lust for life, or just lust in general. Yeah, as long as black trans women are the ones killing the black trans women, then it's okay. Totally stupid take. Totally stupid take. And I'm willing to bet there's not a lot of black trans on black trans crime. I'm pretty sure that's just an ignorant racist saying ignorant racist transphobic things. Anyways, my encounters with trans people were later in life. So the concept of gender is very much in my brain hard for me to get around. First time I can think of encountering someone who in my universe who had come out as trans, I almost immediately, quite accidentally, misgendered them, and I felt horrible because I knew that I was wrong, and that was a thing. I've tried really hard to do better as often as I can. I know not that terribly long ago on a stream, I misgendered a mutual friend of the person I was talking with. And it, again, immediately, as soon as I did it, I was like, grabbed my phone and texted them and was like, I am sorry. I corrected myself, but shit. In my mind, it's hard to break away from the pronouns that I assume for people by visuals. That's a problem in my mind. That's not a problem with anyone else. That's a problem with me. It's a wiring thing in my head that I have to fix. And I work on it. So to me, it's a sign of my respect for them as people to just do my best to not suck. Neopronouns are where we get into areas where people can get snide without really having a reason to do so. So when I say neopronouns, just for the record, unlike what Blair, what's her name, the big, I can't think of her name, right-wing trans person, which is just seems wrong to say. She said that the most common were like bug and bug self and all this shit, and that's a lie. I think the most common are, from what I understand, Zer and Faye, and I don't know phase or fair or whatever. One of the things that I figure is it doesn't matter to me how a person wants to be spoken to in terms of the like, my take on it. If I have someone that I'm communicating with and they have a preference for something, as long as that preference isn't for my blood, who fucking cares? I'll do my best to acquiesce to whatever the case may be, especially when it comes to people's identity. The whole thing about like tree self and all that kind of stuff is easy to get snarky about because it's very much not how we typically view the world. But okay, I don't have to understand. I don't understand quantum theory. Doesn't mean quantum theory is not real. Pretty sure that if somebody is comfortable using pronouns that I wouldn't use, then all right. I guess I'll do my best to not be a dink. People are acting like this is an attack on language. Fucking Ben Shabibo constantly with talking about the biological lie, and Jordan Peterson too, the biological lie of having to say a lie when you're talking about somebody who doesn't want the pronouns that Ben Shabibo has imagined that they should have. Like, fuck off, dude. You're not the be all and end all of the world. It's not a biological lie because gender isn't biological. There's components of sex and things that are biological, but it's a much more complicated question. And I'm repeating stuff that a million people have already said. Ben Shapiro, you suck. You are a jerk. And if you ever want to debate a college student, I'm right here. I worked with a person in transition. She still had a lot of male stereotypes in a blue collar environment. I had a few oopsies at her expense. She was really good about it, and that was there was little damage, but I empathized with that whole foot in the mouth moments. Totally. And this is the key that I think the world needs to understand. Contrary to the image that is painted by the Ben Shapiros and whatnot, and Jordan Peterson saying that he's going to go to jail for misgendering someone, which no. In my experience, the people that I have known who are trans or non-conforming, they're good about it. If you say something and you're not being malicious, they get it, and when you go, oh shit, I'm sorry, they're understanding, and they go, it's cool, guy, we're good, because they're not assholes. The people who are assholes are the ones who are actively, intentionally going, as far as they can to do that misgendering, right? We're all human. We all fuck up. So intentionally doing it just to be Ben Shabibo and prove how super cool you are, or to be Jordan B. Peterson and be like, haha, I'm teaching the libs a lesson. Well, you're just an asshole. Should it be illegal to call someone by other than their chosen pronoun even after knowing what they prefer to be called? I don't think that should be illegal. Intentionally misgendering someone should be nothing more than proof that you're an asshole and that your willing to tell someone that at the core of their being, they're wrong and stupid. To me, that's what misgendering a person ultimately is just an act of sheer dickery. And when you do it accidentally, this is human. Humans make mistakes. Humans screw up. To make it illegal, I don't think is what, and again, I'm not speaking for trans people or gender nonconforming people. I don't think that's what anyone wants. I think it's more a matter of, in my mind, what should happen is this. We're in a crowded place. You, me, Ben Shapiro, trans person who I happen to know, comes in and I say, hey, how are you today? And Ben Shapiro goes, who's this guy? Now, he should not be arrested. I should beat the fuck out of him and leave him a bloody puddle on the side of the road because he is an asshole. And assholes should be punished for it. That's what I think should happen. If I'm not capable of beating that person up because they're a super ninja or because I'm weak or whatever, then I should be able to point out in great detail what a giant piece of shit they are. That's pretty much the whole take I have. No one is asking you to participate in a biological lie when they say, I identify as a woman or I identify as a man. That's not a thing. There's no biological lie because there's no biological gender. There is only people asking for respect and people either giving it or not giving it. Fuck assholes. I am so very tired of living in a world where assholes not just have voices, because everyone should have a voice, but where they get to use their voice from positions of power. Fuck those people. Fuck them hard. Fuck them long. Fuck them forever. Let them get syphilis and suffer. Wow, I went a whole long way. I literally just wanted to mentioning the whole thing about transitioning not being, and the way I wrote in my note was transitioning is not, hi doc, I want Bob and Vagine. Because literally that's like the take that happens far too often. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all the support. If you want to support me directly, you can like, subscribe, or comment, or follow whatever doohickeys are available to you at this particular moment. I also have a Patreon if you want to support me via that. I have a whopping 2 patrons. One of them is my good friend, Mr. Shithead Dave Anderson, who gets the super special I love you, thank you for the videos. And the other one is my friend Kelvin, who just gets a regular thank you. It's not my fault. That's how the tiers work, which is actually exactly my fault. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time. And I hope whatever you do, I hope our paths cross again, and I hope you have a great day.